right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the board visible? Is the board visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think this is the fourth test. The next test, that is BPG test. So we are doing heteroscedasticity and we are doing the test for detection. So under that, that's the fourth test, BPG. So it was given by three people, Brosh, Pagan or Pagan, and Godfrey. Okay. So this test is for a multivariate model. So again, it has steps. Okay. So let the model be y1 plus beta 2 by I equals to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2I plus beta 3 x3I plus beta k xki plus mu I. So we apply OLF and calculate mu I cap. Then we calculate summation sigma curly square, which is summation mu I cap square divided by n. And another term that we calculate for this test is pi. Pi's value is mu I square divided by sigma curly square. Next, regress pi that we've calculated on alpha 1. So there's this another equation that this test is defining, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 z2I plus alpha 3 z3I plus up till alpha m zmi plus vi. You can just finish this test, then I'll explain you. So here the zi's and the xi's. They are the estimated sum of square. Okay. Have all of you written up till here? So now after this estimated sum of squares, so now basically what we've done is we've transformed our equation from this equation to this equation. ठीक है, अगर हम equation को transform कर रहे हैं, that means we are transforming our variables. Now here we are not using xi's, we are using another term that is zi. ठीक है, and the coefficients are alphas. So we assume that now we have to check for heteroscedasticity in this model. So now through these estimated sum of squares, we check if heteroscedasticity is present or not. So we apply the test, that is the chi-square test, and the formula for that is half of estimated sum of square. Iski value is compared to the chi-square value for m degrees of freedom. And we define our null hypothesis as alpha 1 equals to alpha 2 equals to alpha 3 equals to so on till alpha m. All these coefficients are equal to 0. Okay? This will imply that there is no relation between the xi's and zi's. That is, there is no heteroscedasticity. Okay? And on the other hand, h0 or h1 will be all these values, they're not equal to 0 and heteroscedasticity is present. So this can be checked at 5% level or 1% level. Okay? Written? Have all of you written?
Excuse me, ma'am.
जी बोलो बेटा.
Ma'am, can you please show the last slide?
हाँ जी.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we move to the next test. There are still 2 more tests left. The 5th test is White's general heteroscedasticity. So again, this was given by some econometrician, जिसका second name was White. So this is after him, White's general heteroscedasticity. So it's using a 3-variable model, and the model is yi equals to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2i plus beta 3 x3i plus mu I. and mu I cap, estimated value of mu I cap, they've defined by this relationship alpha 1 plus alpha 2 x2I plus alpha 3 x3I plus alpha 4 x2I square plus alpha 5 x3I square plus alpha 6 x2I x3I plus vi. Okay, this is the relationship of ui and the xi's. So apply OLS to 1 and calculate mu I cap. Then estimate by again OLS equation 2. This is equation 2. And calculate auxiliary regression. RA square. So in this equation 2, we are finding out the regression that's called auxiliary regression. Now, auxiliary regression is a special type of a regression which only measures for heteroscedasticity or if there is any serial correlation present amongst the variables. Okay, so it is a special kind of a regression to measure heteroscedasticity or any serial correlation among the variables. So that is why it's called auxiliary regression. So now after finding out RA square, we again apply the test and the formula is N into RA square and it is compared to chi square for 5 degrees of freedom and H naught is alpha 1 equals to alpha 2 equals to alpha 3 equals to alpha 4, alpha 5, alpha 6. All of them are equal to 0. That is no heteroscedasticity. And H1 is heteroscedasticity is present. Okay, so why is it 5 degrees of freedom? Because we have 5 terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is why it is for 5 degrees of freedom.
Excuse me, मैम
हाँ जी बेटा
डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम का थोड़ा मीनिंग एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो क्या होता है
बेटा degrees of freedom, see as the name says degrees of freedom. So कितने डिग्रीज या कितने वेरिएबल्स के अराउंड हमारा आंसर मूव कर सकता है, ठीक है, दैट इज डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम. ये हम टेस्ट फॉर स्टैटिस्टिक्स में यूज, टेस्ट फॉर हाइपोथेसिस में यूज करते हैं. So that depends upon the number of variables that we have in our equation. Okay, so otherwise डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं। मेरी आवाज एको हो रही है? बट एनीवेज हमारा जो टेबल होता है जिससे हम अपनी टी वैल्यू या जेड वैल्यू या फिर एफ वैल्यू निकालते हैं, उसमें डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम डिफाइंड होते हैं। ठीक है, सो उसमें हम चेक करते हैं कि कितने डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम हमारी इक्वेशन में है, उसके हिसाब से हम अपनी टेबल वैल्यू लेते हैं।
ओके मैम।
ठीक है, so after this we have a last test. That is the Gledzer test. So this Gledzer test, this just gives us different relationships between the mu I and the xi term, which can be tested for heteroscedasticity, or which can be tested for heteroscedasticity. Okay, so the first relationship that it gives is that mu I can be equal to, or mu I cap can be equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 xi plus bi. So we can check for this relationship if heteroscedasticity is present or not. Or another relationship, if this has a problem, then there's another relationship, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 under root of xi plus vi. So here we are taking the root of xi. Or another relationship, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 1 over xi plus vi. Then alpha 1 plus alpha 2 1 over root xi plus vi. Or we can test this relationship, that is under root of alpha 1 plus alpha 2 xi, this is under the root, and plus vi, that's the error term outside the root. Okay, so these are nothing but kind of weights that are given to the xi term, and these weights might eliminate the problem of heteroscedasticity. ठीक है, आगे जाके हम remedial measures में करेंगे ये चीजें. So Gledzer just gives us different relationships between mu I and xi, and these relationships or any one of them can eliminate the problem of heteroscedasticity. Clear? Have all of you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so next we come to the remedial measures. Do you have a class after this? Madhu sir की class है? आज हमारा lecture भी है ना?
Yes, ma'am, we have a class.
Okay, चलो ठीक है. Then I'll finish on time. So remedial measures में the first one is weighted least square or the generalized least square method. Under this, we take the model y1 plus beta 1, y1 equals to beta 1 plus beta 2 xi plus mu I. Label this as 1. And we say that heteroscedasticity is present and is sigma I square. So we have to eliminate this heteroscedasticity problem. So what do? We assign a weight Wi, which is equal to 1 by sigma I square. तो यहाँ पर हम एक वेट असाइन कर रहे हैं wi, that is 1 by sigma I square. तो आगे डेरिवेशन है, multiply under root of wi to equation 1. तो यहाँ अगेन हमने ट्रांसफॉर्म कर लिया अपने वेरिएबल्स, इसको वेट के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करके. तो these transformed variables we can write as y1 star equals to y1 star equals to beta 1 star plus beta 2 star xi plus mu I star. ठीक है, अब इसका आगे देखिए फायदा क्या हुआ इसका. So I'll continue here. So when we find out the variance of this mu I star, this is variance of mu I star. क्या है इसमें? Under root of wi multiplied by mu I, right? So under root of wi को बाहर लेके आओ, and variance of mu I हमने क्या define किए? What is the variance of mu I? Square होएगा. What is the variance? ये variance ही है बच्चों. Variance is sigma I square. So this is sigma I square. ठीक है? And ये जो under root of wi है, because it is variance, so we will square this term. So this becomes wi into sigma I square. And wi can be taken from here. So the variance of mu I star is reduced to 1. समझ आया?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
जो the term e bracket mu I square, when we read this term, how do we read it? Is
Expected
it
value of mu I square for given xi equals to sigma I square. E is the expected value.
expected value? Ma'am, जब हम लिखते थे e bracket yi oblique xi,
Yes.
then it used to read it as expected value of y conditional on x, the value of x.
That's a condition. So whenever you put this bracket, that is a condition that you're putting. Here also we are putting a condition that xi is known to us. Because xi is our independent variable, so we put the condition that xi is known to us. So for given xi means that that's the condition given to us.
Why is it that this gives us the variance, and when we use the yi term, then it gives us the mean?
Beta, because yi is the expected variable or the expected value that you're taking out of your dependent term.
Right.
ठीक है, y is your dependent term. And जो हम mu से निकाल रहे हैं, mu I square, that's a separate variable that is giving us your variance.
mu I square stands for variance only.
Yeah. Mu I square, जो expected value of mu I square है, that's the formula for variance.
And when
Okay.
it is for expected value of yi, then we consider it mean.
See, expected value, whenever E comes, E is nothing but the average value that you're finding out. Here the difference is between y and mu I. ठीक है, y की जब आप निकाल रहे हो, y is your dependent term. So when you're finding out the expected value of y, that's the mean of y that you're finding. Okay, that doesn't have any other meaning. When you're finding out the average value of your mu I terms or mu I square terms, that gives us the variance. Mu I is a residual term or it is the error term.
And the E in itself, the expected value E,
Is the average value.
it means average.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. So is this clear? The weighted least square, how we've come to this one?
I get it.
Good. So by reducing this variance to 1, we are eliminating the problem of heteroscedasticity. Okay, because 1 is a constant.
Professor.
1 is not a variable.
Professor.
Yes.
In the second line of the variance ui star,
Yes.
उसके जो second equation है वहाँ पे we have divided rewritten ui star as wi root and ui separately.
Yes.
When we brought root wi out of the bracket, then it became it got squared. Can you remind me how it got squared?
Because variance of any term that we are finding out, किसी भी term की हम variance निकालते हैं, that's the square of that term. ठीक है? Standard deviation is what? Standard deviation is the under root. But variance of any term, if we take that out of the bracket, that's the square of that term. That's in the formula only.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So now this, after this, you can just write a line. And thus, when the weight that we are using, when the weights are given, so with this, thus the problem of heteroscedasticity is solved. ठीक है? तो अब now it's time, so I'll stop here. कल हम करेंगे. As still the problem of this problem hasn't still finished. So tomorrow we'll do when the weights are not known to us. ठीक है? यहाँ पर तो हमने weight को define कर दिया था as 1 by sigma I square, right? But when this weight is not given to us or when the weights are not known, then we have to assume some of the other weights. तो वो हम कल करते हैं. And yes, we'll stop here.